hello to Matt, hello to Dan, hello to Seth, hello to myself. We are on our second to last episode of this season of Picture This Film Reviews. And we are going to be reviewing True Romance today. Ooh, I don't remember what our next segment is supposed to be. Oh yeah, we ask everybody how they are. Okay, that's right. I'm so sorry. I've had a really long week, you guys. So it's been like stress.
It's Tuesday.
Anxiety. Oh my God, dude. It's winter time. It's seasonal anxiety for me all day, 24/7. Okay, Dan, let's start you out. How was your week?
Very busy.
Yeah.
Been between dealing with my wonderful wife and the winter season, getting ready for the holidays that are soon upon us. Putting together a new store that's soon to be opening, and feel like working sun up to sundown. And I guess honestly, I have been working sun up to sundown that new location, but really excited to get there. And was able to slip in this film and part of a couple others. I don't know if we finished anything else, but yeah. How about you, Matt? Where are you at this week?
I had a good week. I went back to work, so that sucks. But I was good. I mean, I got to watch a couple things. I was finishing up my vacation. I watched Tiger King season 2. All 5 episodes. I was a little disappointed there was only 5 because I very quickly got sucked right back into that world, which I didn't think I was going to. Like, I was really hesitant. Like, do I want to watch this? I have to, because I watched season 1, but I really don't care about these people anymore. And then I watched it and then just sucked right back in. And then it ended after 5. And I didn't realize before I started it how many there were. And I was like, that's it? It left me like wanting more. But I also watched Hawkeye. I watched the 3 episodes that are currently, I guess by the time this airs, it'll be 4 episodes, but I watched the first 3 episodes of Hawkeye, and isn't that a charming little show? Have you guys seen that yet?
Watch the first episode.
Yeah, just the first one.
I dig it. I'm there for it. It's very much a gosh, and I can't think of her character's name, but it's the female lead's character show, and Hawkeye's just kind of featuring, and I'm there for it. And I can't think of her name, so I really apologize. Once I figure it out, I'll put it up on the screen. But it's her. She's great, and Hawkeye's Hawkeye, but in a good way. And I've always liked the character, but I think it's charming and it's funny, and you don't even have to like.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
What is it?
That's not it.
I don't know.
That's the girl from Scarlet.
No, that's
Are we looking it up right now?
Yeah, we're trying to help you out, but I think we're just becoming a hindrance.
Are you saying her real name is Haley?
Her character's name, Kate Bishop, is what I was going for.
Yes.
They just have her as Hawkeye.
Yeah, under the.
It's a Kate Bishop show, just featuring Hawkeye, and I like that it's not like I'm okay with that. It's not like, oh my gosh, the world's coming to an end. What are we gonna do? It's very much like, oh, there's these guys in leather jackets that are after us. What are we gonna do? It's not like an end of the world, like world crisis type thing. It's just a small little, cup of coffee in the Marvel universe, and I'm okay with that. So I would encourage anyone to go that's a Marvel fan, even if you're not a Hawkeye fan, which I know a lot of people are like, Hawkeye, I was the same way. Go check out Hawkeye. And then I also watched Road to Perdition, which I had never seen before and immediately fell in love with. Oh my God. It jumped from having never seen it to in my top 10 of all time, which the only other movie that's ever done that is Cool Hand Luke, coincidentally also starring Paul Newman. And it wasn't even a Paul Newman factor with The Road to Perdition. It was just, he just happens to be in it. It's a great Daniel Craig, Tom Hanks, great cast. The kid that's currently Superman on the CW, whatever his name is, he's in it real young. That's an awesome movie. Anyway, sorry, I took way long.
Okay, Seth, now on to you. What have you watched or done or, enjoyed this past week?
Well, I've been working a lot. This is why I missed last week. I apologize. But I haven't really watched a ton. I know yesterday I did a Star Wars binge of the original trilogy. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so I hadn't seen the originals in a while, which is abnormal for me. But had a great time watching them all yesterday. Kind of got me in a Star Wars kick, so I want to do prequels next, and I want to do sequels. Normally, I'm a guy who's like, you start from episode 1 and you go down, but I'm gonna change it up this time. I watched a couple Christmas movies. I watched Scrooge for the first time. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But I've been kind of lacking on my Christmas movies so far because I've been working so much. But I'll catch up on that here soon. Other than that, just trying to work out a little bit and try to make the best of each day. So.
Good. Well, I will transition into what I've done this past week, which, why are your glasses off? I've just been doing my business stuff, Etsy stuff, but also besides that, it's been freaking crazy. We watched Christmas with the Cranks. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And I forgot how funny that movie actually is. It is so dang funny. And what is his name? Tim Allen. He is so freaking funny. Oh my God. He lands every single comedic, thing put in front of him. And it's like, there is a part. Okay, I'm sorry, because I'm going to go into it because it's so dang funny. Seth, did you watch the last episode where I was literally cracking up about the freaking
Oh my gosh.
I have not yet.
Okay, I'm going to try not to crack up now because it's literally so funny. But anyway, there's this part where he's having dinner with Jamie Lee Curtis in a restaurant. So he just got Botox done on his eyebrows, and they're all the way up his head. Oh my God. Anyway, that was one of the funniest things. And I said this last week in I can't keep a straight. Okay, you're gonna have to give
She did this last week too for 10 minutes.
And because I keep thinking about the scene in Home Alone, which the bricks part and the freaking just that whole thing. Anyway, I couldn't stop laughing, and I don't want to continue to laugh about this Tim Allen thing, but it was just so funny. I know we're just rambling on, but I actually really enjoyed that as a Christmas movie. And it was nice to see Dan Aykroyd again in it too. And I was like, oh my God, he's in this. And yeah, that was really good. What else did we watch? We watched part of the Reservoir Dogs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we watched part of it.
What are you thinking so far?
We're only 20 minutes in, 25 minutes in. I mean, so far it's good. You can tell it's oh my God, I forgot his freaking name.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, thank you. I was about to say Quentin Quirrell. Oh my God, I'm like, this has been a crazy week.
We're not letting Kayla host anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God. Anyway, you can tell it's his film because it's already got his little quirks in it. But I love the cast. It is a freaking filled up, amped up cast, and I'm just excited to see where they actually go with all the characters. So yeah, that's what I did. Still laughing about Home Alone 2. Probably one of the best Christmas movies, honestly, I think I've ever seen. I freaking love that film. I know I'm going on from last week, but I freaking love that.
Didn't you not like the first one or something?
No, I don't care for the first one at all. And it had been so long, of course you'll see this, so I'm going to do a little recap. It's been so long since I've seen the second one and never really realized how dang funny the two robbers are and how well with the kid they played off their dynamics. It was just wonderful. From start to finish, it was wonderful. And
are you going to rewatch the first one now?
No, I'm not going to. No, I refuse. It's like that
Mhm.
that movie's just like burning my brain. Like, no.
It's like Keanu Reeves burned in my brain for being horrible. I can't get over
Yeah.
it.
See, you get it. You get it. Okay, so that was my week, and we are going to segue you guys into the news. Seth, right? It is the news, right? Next, okay.
That's my name.
Seth
Yes,
has
I'm the news guy.
Seth has a loaded news thing for you guys, so please enjoy Seth's ramblings. Maybe Matt's
All right.
ramblings, maybe our ramblings. We don't know. If we cut you off, Seth, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Well, actually, breaking news. This is my first week of new internet, so I'm hoping it's going very well. Last week would have been the first week, but I missed. So this week is the first one. Anyway, let's get going. The Batgirl HBO Max show has started filming, so be on the lookout for pictures and everything of that.
Is it a show or is it a series?
Isn't that the same thing? I don't know.
Or sorry, is it a show or is it a movie?
It's a series.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, the Gucci family are upset about Al Pacino and Jared Leto's casting in the new movie. I forgot to mention I went and saw House of Gucci the other night. Really liked it. Thought it was an enjoyable movie. And honestly, those are two of my favorite characters in the movie. I kid you not, this is one of Al Pacino's better roles. Maybe not so much for his younger years, but like especially since the 90s, this is definitely one of his better roles. Jared Leto, he was entertaining. He reminded me a lot of Fredo from the Godfather movies. But the whole cast is wonderful in that movie. You could literally go watch the movie just for the cast and enjoy it. Story was nothing special, but it was just an enjoyable movie. Anyway, side piece out. Big news, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 has been announced with a little teaser trailer. And man, I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but that has me very excited. So, staying in superhero news, Danny DeVito wants to play the Penguin again, which I'm there for it. I think he wants to do a little movie with Tim Burton again. I'm not positive, but I feel like he just wants to play Penguin again, and that's one of my all-time favorite superhero villains. So please bring him back, somebody in the multiverse, please. An Uncle Ben scene was cut from Spider-Man Homecoming. So if you're like me and you're missing the Uncle Ben in the MCU Spider-Man, just know they cut the scene out for some reason. I don't know.
They didn't say who was Uncle Ben, did they?
No. It was like Peter and Aunt May were looking through the closet like at Ben's old suits or something. And it was like an emotional scene. That's really all the info I have on that.
Gotcha.
Following that, Steven Spielberg is making his first Western. He said he has a few in the works and just not sure which one's going to come out ahead first, but he's making his first Western, and I love Westerns. I love Steven Spielberg, so bring it on. There's a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie coming to Netflix in February. Had no idea. Apparently it's continuing off of the first one or something like that. So he's like old man Leatherface. I don't know. It's coming in February.
It's a Netflix exclusive.
It is. It's better than Paramount Plus, I can tell you that.
They released a trailer for it this week, and
Oh, did they?
yeah, I'll wait until I watch it before I judge it, I guess.
Well, in more exciting news, Charlie Cox is confirmed to still be Daredevil, except he's going to be in the MCU now. So I don't know if y'all remember, but Netflix canceled all the Marvel superhero shows, and Charlie Cox is like phenomenal as Daredevil, and everyone wanted him back. No one wanted anybody else to play Daredevil. So it's fantastic to hear he's still going to be playing that character. Whether or not it's the same iteration or not is to be seen, but he's
now
staying.
we just need to get John Barenthal to come back as the Punisher.
Let's bring back Thomas Jane. Come on.
Okay.
No. Nick Offerman, he has joined the Last of Us series that's coming.
Yeah.
And if you don't recognize that name, that is Ron freaking Swanson. So
Parks and Rec.
that's right. So I love Nick Offerman. So I'm more inclined to watch the show now. So we'll see.
Matt, the question is, since you don't know who Nick Offerman is, do you like bacon?
Bacon, like the food?
Yeah, do you like bacon?
Yeah.
Then you would like Nick Offerman. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
Are you calling him a pig?
No.
No, just watch the show.
He likes
Okay.
breakfast food.
Anyway, this one goes up to my man Dan. Destin Daniel has signed a deal with Marvel to do a Shang-Chi sequel as well as a Disney Plus series. Before the show, Dan told me if I don't talk about Shang-Chi, then I'm practically dead to him, and he will no longer be my friend. So there you go, Dan. We're still friends, and I'm not dead to
Thank
you.
you for saving our friendship.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Oh God.
In very random news, White Men Can't Jump is getting a remake. I don't know why. I don't know why. What is happening? Moving on from that, Ivana Sakno has been cast in an unknown role in the Ahsoka series. So that's still happening. I'm a big Ahsoka fan, so bring it on quickly, please. A few weeks ago, I was talking about how Colin Farrell might be playing Penguin for HBO Max in a series. Well, now it's confirmed he has signed on to play the Penguin for a Penguin HBO Max series set in the Batman's universe. So I can't wait for that. Like, as I was talking with Danny DeVito's Penguin, I'm a huge Penguin fan. He's actually my favorite Batman villain. So give me more Penguin, please. Tom Holland is set to play Fred. I'm gonna butcher his last name.
Astaire. Fred Astaire.
Astaire.
You
There we
youngin.
go. In a biopic about his life. I know nothing of Fred Astaire, but it's happening.
He was a dancer, actor in like the old golden age, like 40s, 50s. Fred Astaire, huge name.
Very cool. Thank you, Matt, for the info.
I had it written down too, because if you didn't hit the Penguin news and the Tom Holland news, I was going to come after you, but I was waiting to see if you did it. So congratulations.
Well, look at me. I'm actually improving as a newscaster.
You are. It's about time. Only took you the entire first season.
Well, anyway, Dave Bautista is set to star in the new M. Night Shyamalan movie Knock at the Cabin.
That's such a weird pairing.
Right?
Like,
I love Dave Bautista, though.
I know, I do too.
He's a huge wrestling fan, and I'm really excited to see how well he's doing in acting. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure I'll check it out. And then after that, Venom 3 is in early planning stages. So if you're a big Venom fan like myself, Venom 3 is coming. Where's it going to be at? We don't know. But if you've seen Venom 2, which you should have by now, you will know that he is now in the MCU universe. So what's going to happen?
But didn't we say all we needed to say with the first Venom? Like I didn't care for Venom 2, so I can't say. Maybe they'll win me back, but I can't
you're
say.
A very bitter middle-aged man, so I don't really care what you have to say.
Jeez.
We definitely opened the door to what could happen on Venom with its, inclusion in the MCU.
I'm open for him like popping up in a Spider-Man movie or something, but like I don't know that we need a whole nother Venom movie.
Well, since we've already gotten confirmation on 3 additional Spider-Man movies, we've talked about this before. I'm sure that he will eventually make some kind of appearance there. So, and
I imagine in the next Spider-Man movie, he's probably gonna be interacting with Venom, and I'm sure we'll get a real black suit Spider-Man this time. We'll see. I don't know. Following that, Sylvester Stallone is set to star in a new Paramount Plus series called Kansas City. I know nothing else about it except I think it's is it Taylor Sheridan? He's attached to it as well, and
Ty?
I believe he's the Yellowstone director, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
Okay.
Don't quote me though.
And Seth just signed up for Paramount Plus today after reading that
I'm
news.
going to now. Don't you worry.
He took shots at Paramount Plus, but now he's going to be a member.
All you got to do is say Sylvester Stallone's involved, and I'm in. So
You mean you don't like Paw Patrol?
anyway, moving on. Kyle Richards is set to reprise her role in Halloween Ends. Matt, you know more about her character, so please. I drew a complete blank when
Well, she's a very famous. She's on like the Real Housewives of whatever these days, but she got her start as a little 7 or 8 year old child on the original Halloween movie, and then they brought her back for Halloween Kills. She's Lindsay. She was little Lindsay Wallace in the original, and then she's one of the only survivors. She had that in Halloween Kills. It was probably one of the better scenes where she's being chased through the woods by Michael. It was very terrifying and intense, and it was like probably one of the only scenes where I was like, oh gosh. But her character, spoilers, did not die in Halloween Kills. One of the only people that did not die. So Seth announced that she is coming back for the third and final Jamie Lee Curtis installment, Halloween Ends.
That's all the news I've got.
That's it?
Oh, okay, that's all?
That's it.
Right. Did anyone want to add in?
Very well done, sir.
He hit everything.
Emmy nomination right there for you, Seth. Good job.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we are now going to phase into True Romance. So this was a movie that was picked by me. This was my pick last week. I kind of, went the other way from Christmas films. I don't think there's anything Christmas in this True Romance movie. I mainly did this because my dad always talks about this movie. He always, it's one of his favorite movies. I remember as a child, him flipping through his huge DVD book and then pointing this movie is awesome. I'm I'm 8 years old and I'm like, I can't watch this movie. But now that I'm older, obviously I've given it the time and I've recommended it to you guys as well. So I am going to give the stats to Dan. He's going to read them off and then we will proceed with the reviews.
Okay, guys, here we go. True Romance, 1993, American romantic crime film directed by Tony Scott, written by Quentin Tarantino. Features an ensemble cast led by Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, which if you don't catch him in this, we really didn't until the end. Gary Oldman, Brad Pitt, Christopher Walken, Slater, and Arquette play newlyweds on the run from the mafia after stealing a shipment of drugs. This movie had a budget of $12.5 million and it brought in $12.6 million at the box office.
Oh my God.
So True Romance began life as a script for Tarantino. He would sell the screenplay for the film after the success of his feature film debut, Reservoir Dogs, which we were talking about earlier.
I'm sorry, I got to interrupt you real quick. He sold the rights to this, whatever it's called, screenplay, for $50,000, which is the bare minimum of what you can get for a screenplay. Okay, just FYI. Sorry.
So his regarded by proponents as a cross-section of writer Tarantino and director Scott's respective individual trademarks, including Southern California setting, pop cultural references, and stylized violence, punctuated by the use of slow motion. And that's what I have on True Romance.
What did it get on Rotten
Tomatoes?
Tomatoes?
Shoot, sorry about that, guys. So I believe it was a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.9 on IMDb.
And I think it was like an 88%
on Metacritic.
88% liked by Google users, and then a 59 on Metacritic. I'm pretty sure. So it seems like it was a very well-liked movie. Okay, so that's going to transition me into my review. I'm going to go first. Is that all right, everybody? Okay, cool. Okay, so I need to get front and center here so I can go out with my hands. So, ow, no, that thing is like poking me. No, the chair is poking me. The chair, everybody, there's an arm on it. Okay.
We are talking about true romance.
Yes, indeed. So, okay, I've got to break down this movie in parts. So I'm going to break it down in, okay, first half, second half, obviously. Okay, so they start out, you hear the literally the trademark song or music for this film, which you hear it so much throughout this film that you start liking it. By the end of the freaking movie, I'm just like, I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, not for like a random scene. And it's like, the music to me, like, I don't know if it was done on purpose to like make you feel weird while you're watching the scene, because not a single moment of that music matched maybe the very first scene with Arquette and Slater up on that rooftop or billboard, wherever they were talking. But to me, the music, it like kind of jumbled me a little bit. But anyway, yeah, I started liking it, and then it just like went on. It's like, okay, yeah, we get it. You're just playing one freaking song throughout the whole thing, which I didn't mind too much. Obviously, I'm going on about it. So I want to point out that, like I said about Reservoir Dogs, this is a stacked freaking cast in this movie. You have people from literally every single decade that, you know, acting in this film. And what's really cool is like you've got like background, like these actors that are in this movie, a lot of them are secondary background characters that make a literal cameo or an extended cameo in this movie. And it's just weird because they have them scrolling in the, you know, saying who it's co-starring, blah, blah, blah. You have Samuel L. Jackson, who's literally in there for, like, has like 2 lines in there for a minute. Brad Pitt, who honestly for me stole the freaking show. I loved Brad Pitt's character. I wish I could be Brad Pitt's character, honestly. He was so freaking funny. And I want to note on that too, because I don't want to ramble on and forget something that was important to me when I was watching it. There was a scene with James Gandolfini's character and Brad Pitt where he comes up to him in the house, he knocks on the little screen door, and they're rambling on, and then Brad Pitt's like, hey, you want to watch some TV? And then James Gandolfini's character is like, no, but like, I'll be back or something like that. And he's like, Brad Pitt is like something to the point of like, don't try to like, you know, play me or something. I'll kill you. Like some like mumbles to himself. And I'm like thinking to myself, that is like perfect. I hope that is perfect foreshadowing. You know what I mean? I hope really Brad Pitt gets to kill James Gandolfini's character. I think that was a missed opportunity on their part, to be honest. I mean, if he would have killed him with a bong, that would have been freaking cool. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can say that on YouTube, so I'm sorry. I don't know. But anyway, the way James Gandolfini's character was killed was, you know, served him right anyway. Oh my God, I'm just rambling on and I'm not trying to. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. First half of the movie, I think it goes very slow. It's kind of hard to get into because you're going back and forth. You see these random characters, Gary Oldman, which whoa, like what? I don't even know. And the part where they're swinging back and forth the chandelier, the light, I freaking love that part. That was awesome. And then he gets shot and I'm just like, whoa, did he die? Literally, we just saw Samuel L. Jackson die. And then you see, like, sorry, spoilers, you guys. Gary Oldman die with like literally 5 minutes of screen time, not even. So I think it was just like, your big name, maybe, yeah, your big name, Dracula was around that time. Your big name, blah, blah, blah. We're just going to kill you just for kill factor, honestly. Oh my gosh, I don't want to ramble. Am I rambling? I'm so rambling. Okay, so fast forward to the second part. I'm so sorry. Fast forward to the second part. I wasn't really sure if I was from the first part of the movie because we broke this up watching it, if I was really convinced that I liked this movie or not. And then you get to the second part of the movie where they actually transition into California. They meet with Rappaport. You know, they're doing all these. They meet up with Elliot's character, blah blah blah. And then you start really getting into it. I think it is a wonderful transition because you start getting into like this grunginess of the actual film. Oh my gosh, I don't want to lose some spots. Absolutely loved all the characters in this movie. Actually watching Reservoir Dogs too, you see Chris Penn in this movie too, which that was nice. And I wasn't really, didn't know a lot about Chris Penn until I actually Googled him and realized that it was Sean Penn's brother. And I didn't realize that he was in so many films and had so many roles in so many films. But it was nice to see him in this movie. Oh my God, I'm really not trying to ramble. I'm so sorry, you guys. I loved it. I think the elevator scene when they're going up to the hotel room, perfect. Loved that freaking scene. You really see Christian Slater, like you see his character in the beginning, and he's this shy guy who likes kung fu movies, this little nerdy dude, and you're just like, like he's a shy guy, whatever. And then you go to the bathroom scene and he's talking to Elvis, and you're like, okay, this guy's a little deranged. And then you fast forward into the movie, and then you see him literally putting a gun up to Elliot's head, and you're like, yeah, dude, he is going off the hinges. And is it for love? Is it all of those acts for love? So yeah, I loved it. I think that second half of the movie was perfectly well done. Christian Slater was phenomenal. I mean, he really played a freaking crazy dude, and I was convinced, like especially in that hotel room, and there was a bloodbath. There's so much that went on in this movie, and I don't want to go on and steal from anybody else that wants to talk. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to, but it was one of those things that you can definitely see Tarantino's influences on this script. And I like a lot of the stuff he does anyway. So this was a really nice thing to, watch something different than a Christmas movie this time of year. But I'm going to give this movie an 8.5. I really enjoyed it. It was very well done. Like I said, the cast members were perfect. Brad Pitt, loved it. Okay, I don't know who wants to go next. Dan, do you want to go next? Seth, Matt?
I'll go.
Okay, Seth has the floor.
So, I'm a huge Tarantino fan. He's my all-time favorite director. And this was definitely a movie that I had to watch. If I remember correctly, this was his first screenplay he ever wrote, I believe. So I watched this movie and just automatically loved it. I thought Christian Slater was phenomenal. Oh no, battery's dying. Sorry, it's going off. Christian Slater was fantastic. What was her name again? I'm drawing a blank. The actress?
Patricia Arquette.
Patricia Arquette, yeah. Apologize. She was great. And I'm gonna steal a line from Kayla, but she was easy on the eyes. I don't know, the whole story is just so much fun, and I love the it's basically a character movie. Like everyone has this distinct character in the movie, and just makes it so much more fun and adds to the movie. But especially Gary Oldman, he's just so great. Like he's Gary Oldman, but he's like a white guy thinks he's a black guy, and it's just hilarious. And then I think probably my favorite scene is with Christopher Walken in Christian Slater's dad's trailer. Just brilliant. I love that scene. But I could just go on and on about how much I adore this movie. But I'm probably gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Because I don't wanna go on all night. So.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Dan, you want to flip a coin?
I don't know, you want to do rock, paper, scissors real quick?
Okay, let's do it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
You got paper?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
You sound
You
so
win.
excited, Dan.
All right then. Fine. So overall, I agree with Kayla. I felt that in the beginning of the movie it kind of dragged. I do think that the second half kind of redeemed it a little bit. I had a lot of big name actors. I'm not sure if it necessarily needed them. I was kind of sitting back and I was wondering to myself if someone else had played these parts, would it still had the same impact? And honestly, some of them yes, some of them no. I agree. I thought that Brad Pitt, I don't know why. He was just it was extremely comical to me. It was probably more funny than it needed to be when he was sitting in there and the guys were like talking to him. He's like, "Hey," but yeah, as far as the lead, Christian Slater, I think pretty cool. Hit, and I think that's like the whole premise. Like he was just a cool guy. And I was just trying to understand, like over the course of this, like why he had these fantasies about Elvis, which toward
Why
the
not?
end,
Elvis is awesome.
I don't know,
Not
man. But he's like
fantasies, they
talking
were hallucinations.
like Elvis is like talking him into, hey man, you
Elvis
go
lit.
kill
I
him,
like
man.
him.
Like you're so cool. You're always cool. Like
Yeah,
what's
I
the-
love that part.
And then the
Those
fact
parts
that
were
was
awesome.
Val Kilmer and you see the reflection in the mirror of Val Kilmer dressed up as Elvis, I
Yeah,
thought that was
perfect.
hilarious.
That was perfect.
I love
Um,
Al Kilmer.
I don't know. Some of the parts, like I said, were probably a little bit too out there for me. But overall, decent.
Like what?
I personally felt that that the whole thing with Gary Oldman, it was crazy. It was very over the top, and I know that's how like I know Tarantino likes to do things sometimes. I'm sure this director, I'd have to look into more of his stuff, but probably into the same thing. But I know looking at what Gary Oldman said, he said this is one of his favorite characters that he's ever played of all time. And it's hilarious that he gets like massacred in this movie in a pretty gruesome way.
Oh my god.
But at least he held on to the guy's ID so they could track him down, right? So, anyways, overall, I'll probably put this movie for me at a 7 out of 10. But that's where I'm at.
Hold on. We were literally like when Gary Oldman got shot, we're like, did he just get shot in the oh my god.
It was very crazy. Like,
He was
yeah.
just like point blank, boom. And you're like, no way.
I mean, if you're looking for a movie that has no shortage of gore and graphic content, I think this movie delivered. There were a lot of cutaways too, but I mean, we talk about the showdown. I think the best scene in the whole thing for me was when all the cops and the mafia guys and then the movie director, like the movie director's people are like standing there and they're holding these big machine guns. They're like, man, I hate the cops. And like, and they's like, man, what are you doing? They're gonna kill us. Like, no, and then they just have this massive shootout. And I'm literally like sitting there and like, everybody's gonna die except for these two. I wasn't expecting the ending to come out the way it did.
Yeah, I mean,
That they had a kid. I guess they made out with the money and then they named the kid Elvis. Like, I felt like they could have left that open for a sequel pretty easily with the fact that Christopher Walken was still alive. Blue, the mafia guy, Blue was still out there, whatever his name is. Like they could have left that open, or they could have even gone a little further. And I'm not saying make the movie longer, but I wish they would have tied that end up. Like had they done that, I might have rated it a little higher. But I guess they made it away, hopped on one of those airplanes that they were talking about, take them in the Never Never Land.
no, they drove across the Mexican border.
Well, then they went to Cancun like they asked, and they went across the border, whatever.
I think there are movies that are, like I said, when you do a sequel or what have you, you ruin the integrity of the first movie. It kind of, it makes something to me in my eyes.
Well, we're also talking
Not
about a movie
perfect.
that I think put a lot of high profile names into it to draw an audience, and obviously based on the box office, it didn't.
I mean,
do
that. I mean, monetary success doesn't mean a film is good or not.
I'm not saying that it was explicitly. I'm just saying that again, like, could some of these performances have been done by
I
folks
think
that weren't?
the fact that these performances were done by the specific actor is what made it so genuine and, different than, I mean, besides Brad Pitt. Well, I mean, kind of like Brad Pitt. I mean, you don't see these, like, them make those kind of cameo roles into those films. I don't know. For me, I feel like they did that on purpose. They filled those shoes with those actors because, you know, it's something you're going to remember. You remember Brad Pitt as that stoner dude. You remember Gary Oldman as that, you know, gangster wannabe dude.
Well, why put Samuel L. Jackson in something he's going to get shot
Because
in 2 seconds?
Tarantino likes him. I don't know.
You could like him, but honestly, you could have put literally anybody in that role.
And keep in mind, Samuel L. Jackson wasn't quite the Samuel L. Jackson that we know today. He was still kind of up and coming at this point.
Maybe he had a distinctive voice that filled that character's role or need. I don't know.
And here we are. Picture this.
Like I
where
said,
sometimes people's opinions don't matter.
No. I'm just saying. I don't personally don't think it needed a sequel. It ended. I didn't expect that ending. I think a sequel would have ruined all the fantastic things you've got in the first film.
And you're the stat guy. Did you read about the original ending of the script?
Unfortunately, this time, Matt, I did not have the time to do that. So I'm glad that you did.
In the original ending of the script, and then I'll transition into my review since I'm speaking. In the original Tarantino written script, Christian Slater's character does die there on the floor. The remainder of the script, from what I understand, is pretty much identical to what was shot and what we saw. But the ending, he dies. And Tarantino pleaded with the director, Tony Scott, to keep that ending. Scott actually convinced or told Quentin that, okay, we're going to keep it, and even filmed it like that he was dead, but then also filmed the real ending that he wanted. And the reason Tarantino killed off Christian Slater's character in the script was because in the beginning, Christian Slater's talking to that random person getting food or whatever about Elvis, and talking about how he lived this high, fast, larger than life, and then died at a young, early age. And that's kind of what Tarantino was trying to reflect in the character, that he lived like Elvis. He lived this high, fast-paced life and then died at a young age. But Tony Scott wanted it differently and lied to Quentin Tarantino. And then when Tarantino saw the finished product, he was okay with it. So now you know. And then you said you weren't really familiar with Tony Scott. I knew I had heard his name, so I had to look him up. We're talking Last Boy Scout. We're talking The Fan, Enemy of the State, Man on Fire, Spy Game, Deja Vu, Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, Unstoppable. Lots of Denzel movies. So that's Tony Scott. This movie had all the ingredients to be a incredible, amazing movie. And I think it hit the mark pretty well. This may be a Tony Scott film, but it has Quentin Tarantino written all over it, literally written all over it. It just feels like a Tarantino movie. Like you could almost show this to someone and say, hey, have you ever seen, someone who's never seen or heard of this movie? You could be like, hey, have you ever seen Tarantino's first film that's not really known? Everyone thinks it's Reservoir Dogs, but it's actually this. And someone could be like, no, what is it? And then you show it to them. They would 110% believe that this is a Quentin Tarantino film, unless they, of course, saw the directed by Tony Scott, and that might throw them off. But I'm going to keep it short and sweet, but Samuel L. Jackson, we barely knew ye. Gary Oldman is effing fantastic, and probably my favorite Gary Oldman performance, I think, that I've ever seen. And it used to be plain old boring Commissioner Gordon in The Dark Knight, but and before that it was what's his character's name in Harry Potter? But I haven't seen a lot of Gary Oldman, but in recent, partly because of this show, and then just in recent years, I've seen more and more. And the more I see of him, this guy is like the modern day I mean, I talk about how young Al Pacino, makes me believe he is that character. Gary Oldman is that modern day. He gets into it, whether he's Dracula, whether he's, in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, or whether he's Batman's commissioner, or whether he's this white guy, gangster guy hanging out and thinks he's black, and he's this pimp character, and he was just so great. It was fun seeing Dennis Hopper, who played Christian Slater's dad. I'm a fan of him. And then I guess my question is, who is your favorite character of this movie, and why is it Brad Pitt? Something I thought I'd never say. Brad Pitt, as much as Gary Oldman stole the show, Brad Pitt, I think, is my favorite character in this movie. And as Kayla said, I don't like to steal from people, but she, as she often does, says it perfectly. I wanted to be that character. That's the best words I can come up with for that. He was perfect, and he leaves. I think he leaves the couch one time in that whole movie. And he was just, he embodied who I want to be when I grow up. I really enjoyed this. I put it off to the very last minute. I watched it last night late, when I should have been in bed sleeping. But I watched it, and I almost immediately wanted to watch it again. I'm mad that Vudu doesn't have it, because for those that don't know, I stream videos. I don't buy them physically anymore. But Vudu doesn't have it to own anymore. They only have it to rent.
I guess they kicked it off.
I guess. I mean, I rented it from Vudu. That's where I rented it from and watched it. But they don't have the purchase option anymore. So hopefully it comes back, because this will be one I'll definitely purchase and watch again at some point. 8 out of 10 for me.
It kind of sucks that they took it right off of HBO Max too. Because
we told everybody it was on HBO, and it was not on there.
Disappeared. They must have ran out of their license for it or something. But,
yeah, what the heck?
I'm glad that everybody seemed to have a general consensus of liking it. I mean, I was a little iffy going into it because of how slow, it was like a slow burn. But I am really glad that everybody liked it. So we got a 7 from you. I gave it an 8.5. Seth, what did you give it?
8.
8. Matt, you giving it 8 as well? All right, cool beans. That's awesome. Well, is it Dan's turn to pick next?
It is. We have a season finale.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Never mind. I totally forgot there. Well, Dan, please let us know. He's so wore out from work. Oh my gosh. Please let us know what your pick is for our season finale, everyone.
Well, as you know, we are nearing Christmas at this point. As we also know, we did have a request on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, for a particular program that happens to be one of my all-time favorites. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally up here. So as far as the movie pick goes, I'm going to dedicate this one to Nightmare Before Christmas, just because we're almost there, and this movie's good 2 times a year, around Halloween and around Christmas. I'm going to take advantage of it. It's a little different than what we've had before. We haven't had an animated flick on here yet. So let's get that ball rolling and see where that ends. Tim Burton classic. So I know we all like Tim Burton here. Let's see. I know all of you have watched it before. Yes? No? So Seth, really, I'm interested to get your take on this. Again, this is a childhood favorite of mine. Be gentle to me, please. But outside of that, yeah, really looking forward to it, guys.
Can I just say I don't think Seth's gonna like it. And we'll tune in next week to see if I'm wrong. But I'm throwing it out there because I want the
I have
audience.
seen bits and pieces, because I've had school teachers who love this movie and they'll try to show it, and even as a kid, I had no interest in this movie.
What do you think doesn't draw you to this movie?
Art style, I don't like that. And I don't vibe well with that kind of like story, I guess. I don't know. Just
But do you know the story?
well, I don't know how to really explain it because it's like I don't really know much about it. I just know like
Well, then just leave it there. And then sometime over the next 7 days, fire up your little Disney Plus and check it out. Try something new.
we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Now I'll watch it.
Well, good. We hope you do watch it because you have to review it next week, Seth. So we want honest. Hopefully you go into it unbiased, review from you. But thank you, everybody. If you have watched this or liked it or shared it or commented on it, this is our second to last episode of the year. We will be returning in January, but Nightmare Before Christmas is our very last pick, and we will be reviewing it next week, which will end our first season as Picture This Film Reviews. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Seth. Thank you to myself. Yeah, thank you so much. Really enjoyed having you guys here.
And remember, what do we say, Matt? What do we say?
Love one another.
Deuces.